Sweetheart, it's not a bridge, it's a rainbow. A rainbow? Yes, when you walk on the rainbow, it can take you anywhere you want to go. Contest master, ladies and gentlemen, after having 2 beautiful sons, my mother was determined not to have another child. But my father insisted on having a daughter. 7 years later, I came into this world. Thank God. Oh no, wait a minute. I should say thanks to my father. Without his insistence, I would not be here to tell you my story. After I was born, I was the apple in my father's eyes. Every day when he came back from work, I would run to him and ask for a big hug. No matter how tired he was, he would play with me for a little while. And sometimes he would say, "Sweetie, come here. Let me show you a magic trick." My father was not only good with magic tricks, but also he was very good at cooking. When I was young, he had a big noodle shop in Taipei. For me, that was a paradise. I enjoyed staying there with my father and the noodle soup he made. I always stayed there, enjoyed that, and wondered, what was the magic he did with the soup in the kitchen? Sometimes I would sneak into the kitchen, stir the soup in a pot, and try to find out the answer. But one day, my father came to me and said, "Sweetie, stop stirring. There's no secret in the soup. The only secret is a lot of hard work." I looked at my father. I didn't understand what he was talking about. All I wanted was to stay in his noodle shop in paradise with my father forever. Days passed by. I went to high school and then later college. I didn't feel close with my father anymore. I didn't want to see his magic tricks anymore. I didn't run to him and ask for a hug anymore. The only time I would run to him is, "Daddy, could I have some money?" And then I was so embarrassed about that. And sometimes I feel if my father could be done something for me, and that would be great. And one day, after a party, with my new dress and shoes, I went to my father's beef noodle shop. The kitchen was dirty, messy, and oily. I happened to see my father carrying a pot of broth and dumping it into a dish. Ugh, yuck! He's so dirty. How could he dump the broth into a dish? I couldn't believe my eyes. I felt so embarrassed, and I swore to myself that I would never marry a restaurant owner. After that day, I tried to stay away from my father's noodle shop. His shop was no longer a paradise for me, and I drifted further and further away from the part of my life. One day, I got a phone call from my mother. She said, "Your father is dying. Come to see him as soon as possible." When I rushed home, I saw my father lying in bed, looking so old and tired. He looked at me and said weakly, "Sweetie, I know you didn't appreciate my noodle shop business, but it's okay. All I want for you is to be happy, to be proud of you." At that moment, I realized my father's noodle shop business gave me the opportunity to go to the college and to become a professional. ungrateful I was. Even worse, I thought he was so low class, and I didn't want to be like him. I was ashamed of myself. And now, how I wish that he could play with me for a little while and say, "Sweetie, come here. Let me show you a magic trick." But not long after that day, my father died. I lost someone I dearly loved. Since then, every time I saw a beef noodle shop on the street, I thought of my father and the unforgettable smell in his kitchen. I always tried to find a familiar taste in those shops. But no matter how hard I tried, how many shops I went in, I never found what I was looking for. The familiar taste was not there. The magician in the kitchen is gone forever. And my father is not with me anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, do you ignore the love your parents gave you? Do you appreciate the effort and hard work your parents have done for you? Cherish your parents before it's too late. Seize the moment. Seize the ones you love. When I was a little girl, my father pointed to a rainbow and told me, "When you walk on the rainbow, it can take you anywhere you want to go." How I wish it were true. How I wish I could see my father at the end of the rainbow, run to him and give him a hug. And how I wish I could tell him, "Daddy, I